And good evening, everyone. We'd like to welcome you in for the District 9 2A semifinal matchup, Community Viqueens against the Loretto Lady Mustangs. And we're about to get the starting lineup, so I'll turn it over to the PA announcer, and then we will come back on when we get those things settled. I'm not sure that we'll do the national anthem since we've had a game that's been played prior to us, but we may have that as well for you here in the next 30 seconds. So again, I'll turn it over to the PA announcer, and we'll have the starting lineups for both squads. We appreciate you joining us. This is the Ball Network.
Now they're starting to line up for game number 2 with Loretto and Community. First up for Community, number 0, Maddie Maxey. Number 2, Savannah Pierce. Number 3, Anna Haskell. Number 5, Jordan Young. And number 11, Alyssa Wright. The Vikings are first by 3 points. Now for Loretto, number 5, Kenny Butts. Number 12, Allie Augustine. Number 24, Jesse Chance. Number 32, Sophie Weather. Number 55, Alexa Crosby. The Lady Mustangs are coached by Ashley.
And with that, we'd like to welcome everyone back in. Again, we have a few restrictions tonight by the TSSAA, so this is audio only. And our starting lineups for Loretto: number 5, Kenley Stutz; number 12, Allie Augustine; number 24, Jesse Chance; 32 is Sophie Weathers; and number 55, Alexa Crosby. For your Viqueens, it's number 0, Maddie Maxey; number 2, Savannah Pearson; number 3, Anna Haskins; number 5, Brooklyn Yose; and number 11, Alyssa White. So the official has the basketball at midcourt, and it's going to be Chance against White to tip this thing off. And the whistle has been blown, and the ball is in the air, and it is basketball time in Community. So the Viqueens have possession of it as Maddie Maxey brings it across the timeline, gives it over to Haskins. Haskins now goes to the top of the key, try to dump it off to White down to the paint, and that is stolen away by number 5, Kenley Stutz, as she'll give it over to Crosby. Now Crosby gives it to Augustine. Augustine's got it at the top. She'll hand off to Stutz. Now back to Crosby. Weathers with it on the right wing, although she is a post player, gives off to Augustine. Drives baseline, and that one almost stolen away. Now the ball loose up in the air and taken away by White. Yose with it. She'll give it to Maxey. Maxey brings it across, and now she'll slow up for the rest of the squad as Yose now has it at the top of the key. Gives off Haskins. Haskins, left wing, drives, kicks back. Yose, three-pointer, and that one too strong off the back of the iron. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Loretto, even though I'm pretty sure that went off of Stutz. What'd you see there, Bill?
I saw it very differently.
So the officials decide to give it to Loretto as Crosby will bring it across, gives over to Stutz. Stutz now has it to Augustine on the left wing, finds Chance in the paint, now gives to Weathers. Weathers drives, puts it up, too strong, off the glass, rebound goes to Yose. So Yose gives over to Maxey, a little bit of full court press, and now they'll back off. Maxey will bring it across the timeline, hands off to Pearson. Pearson drives in the paint, kicks out, Haskins three-pointer, and that one too strong. White stepped on the baseline, I do believe, as that one goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Loretto. So Chance inbounds, gives to Crosby, and Crosby will bark out the signals as she hands it over to Augustine, now to Weathers. Weathers with it on the left wing. Now she'll get it back top of the key to Chance. Chance now gives to Augustine, who pops high on the left side. Augustine being guarded closely by Pearson. Now slings it over to Crosby. Three-pointer, and that one off the front of the rim. Rebound, Maddie Maxey struggles and takes that away from Stutz. Gets it all the way down the court to Haskins, puts it up, blocked by Weathers. As Chance now has the basketball, gets it out to Crosby. Crosby now has it out to Stutz. Back to Weathers, three-pointer, and that one off the mark. Rebound, Pearson going to let it go, It is saved underneath by Stutz, but into the arms of Yos. So Community with the basketball. Maxey being guarded heavily by Stutz, finally comes across the timeline. Now gives over to Yos at the top of the key, being guarded by Chance. Pearson with it, thought about the three-pointer, now goes to the top of the key, will swing it over to Maxey. Maxey, hands off, Haskins. Haskins with it, and she's going to drive in the paint, puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass, and she's broken the seal on the bucket. The score, 2-0. Weathers with it, now gives to Augustine. Augustine beyond the arc, now drives into the elbow, now down into the paint, puts it up. That one's short. Good defense by Pearson as Maxey will come away with it, being guarded closely by Crosby. Now attempted the pass. It was knocked out of bounds off of Stutz. It'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with Community. 5:03 to go here in the first. A lot of action, very little scoring. Community leads it 2-0. Haskins will inbound long to White. White now hands off to Maxey. Loretto in that 2-3 zone with Weathers in the middle of it. As Yos has it, looks for White, backside, block! That one is blocked by Augustine. As now Crosby gives it to her as she was trailing the action. Now back to Crosby, down in the left corner. And now throws it cross pass court to Chance, pulls up. That one's short. And that absolutely got nothing as it did not hit the iron nor the net. So Pearson back with it the other way. Yos has it at the top of the key, swings over to Maxey. Maxey will hand off to Haskins on the right wing. Haskins drives in the paint, puts it up. Yeah! The kiss off the glass. Timeout. And we'll take the break. 4:17 to go here in the first. It's 4-0. You're listening to Viqueens Basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. 4:17 to go here in the first quarter of the semifinals of District 9 2A for the girls, as the score is 4-0. Community leads it. As that one down in the corner to Crosby on the right wing. Now she'll get it out to Augustine. Chance flashing into the paint. They elect not to give it to her. Now back to Crosby. Crosby dribbling out. Now goes baseline, looking for Chance underneath. Knocked away by Pearson. But then Yos made contact with the basketball on the baseline, so out of bounds. It'll belong to the Lady Mustangs. Under 4 minutes here in the first. 4-0. Community leads it. Inbound goes to Crosby. Now she'll get it out to Augustine. Augustine at the elbow, drives in the paint, puts it up, too strong. Weathers went over the back, and the bucket goes. But my word, they're letting them bang bodies down low. As Loretto going to bring a little bit of a press. Haskins with it and gives it to Maxey. They've got people under the basket. Pearson misses that one, grabs the rebound. White puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass as Alyssa White puts that one in. Pearson with the assist, and the score 6-2. So Augustine with it at the top of the key, barking out the signals. As Crosby flashes high on the left wing, has it. She's being guarded closely by Haskins. Now Augustine down in the corner. She'll drive baseline, bumped by Pearson. And now the ball is loose and a foul called. I thought possibly a double dribble.
Yes, a double dribble. They missed it.
But instead a foul is called as Hill will check in for Yos. And Lily Augustine will check in for Chance for Loretto. So Allie inbounds, and now Pearson clearly came over as they were trying to feed the ball back to Allie off the inbound play. So 2 fouls quickly on Community at the 3:01 mark as it's inbounded to Crosby. Crosby down in the corner. Now Maxey on Stutz. Now at the top of the key, Weathers with it. White on her. Now they swing it around to the right. Augustine thought about the shot, decided not to take it. They'll get it back out to the top of the key. They'll swing it over left wing to Stutz. Stutz now has it to Weathers down in the left corner, being guarded closely by White. Weathers finally takes a couple of dribbles and finds Augustine, I thought that was a charge, nothing called. That was a travel, and nothing called there. Finally, the ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Community. We were here early enough to see some travel calls not called in the Cascade Summertown game, and apparently it's going to continue into this one. Loretto with a full court press. Hill's got it, gives to Haskins across the timeline. Now gives to Pearson. Pearson, cross court, Maxey. Maxey on the right, now top of the key goes to Hill. Swings it over to Anna Haskins. Haskins with it on the left wing, going to drive, kicks to Pearson, three-pointer, and that one off the side of the rim. Rebound goes out to Loretto. Crosby going to bring it back, gives over to Allie Augustine. Augustine looking for Weathers down low, and is stolen away by White. White fronted her and was able to get the basketball, and we'll come back with it. Under 2 minutes now here in the first. 6-2 is our score. Community leads it down low to White. Spin move, puts it up, too strong. Rebound goes to Augustine. Augustine now will push it, looking for Weathers, and that one's going to go out of bounds off of Weathers, and it will belong to the purple and gold. As now Sarah Flanagan will check in for Community, and for Loretto will be number 11, Chloe Craig. So for Community, we've got Flanagan, White, Haskins, Maxey, and Hill as they get it out to Flanagan on the left wing. Now Maxey, they'll swing it around the arc. Three-pointer, and that one off the back of the iron as Haskins just cannot find the mark. And now we have a jump ball between Hill and Stutz, and possession arrow goes over to the Lady Mustangs. 1:32 to go here in the first. It's 6-2. Community with the 4-point advantage. As Crosby will bring it up for the Lady Mustangs. And she will give it over to Stutz on the left wing, who had some problems with handling the basketball. Finally gets grips on it. Swings it over to Crosby. Crosby with it on the right wing. Now she's going to drive against Maxey. Now kicks out to Augustine. Now back to the top of the key to Stutz. Now Weathers with it on the left side. Going to give down to Craig. Craig's going to come to the elbow of the free throw line. Gets it out to Crosby. And Crosby will drive in the paint. Puts it up. Draws the foul. And the shot was nowhere near the iron. But Crosby will toe the mark for two as we approach the 1 minute mark. There is 1:01 left in the first to be exact. As the freshman, Alexa Crosby, will toe the mark, and that first free throw is too strong. So now Stutz will come out, Chance will be back in, and Augustine will come back in for Craig. So it looks to be the free throw off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Hill. Loretto with 4 of the 5 starters now back into the basketball game as Maxey, a little bit of trouble getting it across, gives over to Flanagan. We're running out of time, and did Coach Pierce call the timeout? Yes, he did. So timeout, Community, 50 seconds to go here in the first. We'll take the break. You're listening to Viqueens Basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. Cascade High School hosting this district semifinal matchup as Haskins has it, brings across the timeline, drives the paint, puts it up. Yeah! The kiss off the glass, and the score 8-2. We apologize, a little technical difficulty with the mic there, but the basket goes, and the score 8-2 with 30 seconds. Chance with it on the left. Now she gets it to the top of the key to Crosby. Now Crosby over to Augustine. Augustine will hand off to the other Augustine as we have Allie and Lily out there at the same time. They swing it across. Crosby, 3 from the corner, and that one off the iron, but she gets her own rebound, drives in the paint, puts it up. Yes! A nice little floater by the freshman, Alexa Crosby. Haskins has got it. 4 seconds. Stolen away by Crosby. Puts it up, draws the foul with less than a second to go. So a heads-up play by Crosby to get the steal, draw the contact, and an opportunity to dwindle this lead even more. It is 8-4. That free throw rattles out. They've had a tough time from the charity stripe thus far, as Augustine, number 13, that being Lily, will check out, and Stutz back in. The second free throw, oh, that won't go either. Rebound goes to White. So we're no worse for the wear on the turnover and the foul. Both free throws don't go. We've played one quarter here in Cascade. 8-4. Community leads it. You're listening to Viqueens basketball on the Ball Network.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
So welcome back in, second quarter action. Thought we were going to get a minute break, but instead it was just 30 seconds between the quarters. So we are still trying to play the commercials. We do thank the sponsors if anybody happens to be watching. Of course, this is an audio broadcast due to TSSAA restrictions. So you could just sit back, close your eyes, and we'll take you home. Maxey with the basketball as Community has possession to start the second. Wide open, Flanagan on the left side, takes the ball, puts it up. That one too strong, rebound, White on the backside, yes! The kiss off the glass, and the score 10-4. Crosby with it. If you're just joining us and do not know the result of the first game, Summertown did upset Cascade. So the situation that we have is the winner will play Saturday at 6 p.m. against Summertown. If you lose this contest, you play Saturday at 3 against Cascade. 7:30 to go until halftime. 10-4 as Crosby takes the three. That one too strong off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Brooklyn Yos. So we got Yos, Maxey, Flanagan, Haskins, and White, as Haskins will swing it over to Flanagan. Yos with it at the top of the key. Yos will hand off to Maxey as she comes to the top. Now Yos has it on the right side. Now back to Maxey. They'll swing it around the arc. Haskins gives off to Flanagan. Flanagan thought about driving in the paint, now kicks over to Maxey. Maxey to Yos. Yos looking for White down low, and Weathers knocked it away into the arms of Chance, and then Chance swings an elbow. So the foul called on Alyssa White. That is her first. But Chance retaliated with an elbow. Nothing called, so they let that go there, as Crosby will bring it up. And she'll sling it over to Weathers. Now Weathers has it to Stutz on the left side. They were looking for Augustine on the block. They elected not to give the ball down to her off to the left here, so now Chance with it in the corner. Chance will now dribble it out to the top of the key, being guarded closely by Yos. Now Weathers has it, being guarded by White. Chance trying to get it down to Augustine again on the block. They finally do get it to her in the middle of the paint. Spin move.
She traveled.
Yes, sir. So the student section for Community off to my left, which I sort of like this setup. Yos will inbound, Maxey with it. Full court press by the Lady Mustangs. As Stutz comes over, they try to double her. They quickly get it to Haskins. Haskins drives, she's cut off by 3 Lady Mustangs. Stutz all over. They finally get it out to Maxey at the top of the key. Swinging to Flanagan, three-pointer. Bye! 13-4 is the score as Flanagan buries that one. As Augustine comes back, misses a shot, rebound, puts it up. She draws contact and is fouled. And who is the guilty party? So it is going to be on Flanagan. That is her second. But Community 13-4. Excellent start as the free throw goes down for Allie Augustine, and now Crosby will come out for Loretto as number 10, Shayna Fisher, will check in. as Augustine will toe the mark for the second attempt, and that free throw is up and good. So the score, 13-6, a 7-point lead for the purple and gold. Haskins has it, drawing the double team in the backcourt. Now she'll try to get it to Flanagan. That was deflected out of bounds and somehow belongs to Loretto. The way the ball came off and went out of bounds, it looks like it would have had to have been deflected off someone. But they are going to give it to the Lady Mustangs. 5:40 to go here until halftime. 7-point lead by Community. Maxey with it as they try to feed it, they try to feed it down low as Maxey was trying to defend. And now a foul called when that was clearly a jump ball. Now the officials are going to get together, and let's see which one's going to win this battle as they are discussing in the paint, and it looked clearly like it was a jump. What's your thoughts on that one?
Okay. Jump ball.
And they get it right. So the official on the baseline was overturned by the female official down in front of us here. So 5:32 to go until halftime. As Augustine with it, she's trying to bark out some signals, point directions, and finally gets it in bounds. They get it back to her. Spin move, chance, they'll move it around down in the corner, three-pointer, and that one off the mark by number 10, Fisher. As the rebound went to White, and now Flanagan will bring it across. Maxey, and tried to do the head fake and go underneath and shuffle the feet. She's called for the travel. So now Crosby checking in, but no one was walking out. Finally, number 10, Shayna Fisher, will find her way to the bench. 13-6 our score, 5:14 to go here in the second. Community with the lead. Stutz with the basketball on the right-hand side, gives the chance. She's got it down in the right corner. Lazy pass, almost intercepted by Flanagan, and now Augustine dribbled it on the sideline. Turnover as Community will have the basketball. Yos will inbound, but Loretto showing that press, and now they're going to back off. So Maxey will easily be able to bring it across the timeline as we go under the 5-minute mark here in the first half. Flanagan with it. She'll swing it or come all the way to the top of the key. Now swing it over to Maxey. And Coach Pierce ecstatic about something. They finally get it down low to White. White swings it. Flanagan three. And that one rims out. Rebound. Yos underneath. Excellent effort by Brooklyn Yos as Flanagan has it, drove in the paint, kicked it out to Yos. She's behind the arc. Now she'll hand off to Flanagan. Flanagan was being challenged by Augustine, but finally gets the grips on it, gives over to Maxey on the right side. Now handoff goes to Haskins. 4:20 to go now in the second as they get it low down to White. White spin move, puts it up, and offensive foul as White, I don't know if he deemed it that she threw a little bit of a shoulder or the elbow, but she is called for the offensive foul as Maddie Maxey will have a seat, and into the ball game again will be number 14, the sophomore Madison Hill. 4:12 to go. 7-point lead still intact for Community. Weathers pops high beyond the arc. Now she'll swing it over to Stutz. Stutz has it down in the right corner. Now gives to Crosby at the top of the key. Now Allie Augustine with it. Dribble. She traveled. And yes, it is called. So she traveled on her way into the paint as Yos now will inbound under her own basket. Haskins with it. Haskins simply just comes down the sideline here and finally is cut off by Stutz. Brooklyn Yos thought about the three, head fake. Now she'll swing it over to Haskins. Haskins going to drive baseline, and a foul called as Weathers got too close and put a little bit of a body on her. Well, I think they're going to call it on Stutz. So, yes, they're going to call it on Stutz, even though Weathers was right beside her, and I thought she sort of gave her a hip check. But Stutz called for the foul. Inbound, long three. Yos won't go. Rebound, Crosby, as Flanagan gave a little bit of a shove, but no call. Crosby with it on the right wing, picks up her dribble. Now Weathers could not get it as White fronted her and knocked that one out of bounds. It'll stay with Loretto as White will get a breather, and Morgan Pridmore will come into the basketball game for the first time tonight, the junior seeing some action. So Stutz will inbound under her own basket as Hill guarding the inbounder. They get it down low to Weathers, puts it up, won't go. Excellent position by Pridmore, but a foul going to be called on Hill, I do believe, as she was reaching in. So let's see if that is indeed the case, and it is. And now Maddie Maxey will come in for Brooklyn Yos. So the sophomore coming in for the junior. Inbounding under the basket is Stutz for Loretto. Having some problems, finally gets it into Augustine. Augustine being guarded by Flanagan. Has it now beyond the arc, takes the three. That's short of the mark. Rebound's going to go to Madison Hill. Gives it off to Maddie Maxey. Maxey going to bring it down, picks up her dribble, swings it to Hill. Now Haskins with it. She'll give it to Pridmore, who flashed to the elbow. Now over to Maddie Maxey. Now back to the top of the key. Now Maxey with it on the right wing. Gives down to Pridmore. Pridmore spin move, puts it up too strong. And the rebound going to go to Loretto. Under 3 minutes to go now. 13-6 is still our score as Weathers puts it up. Yes. Nice move on Weathers, who got the position on Pridmore, took the basketball and put it up off the square. That one almost intercepted as the inbound pass was knocked away by Augustine, but goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Community. 2:46 to go here in the second as Alyssa White will come back in and Pridmore will have a seat. Again, 2:46 to go until halftime, 13-8. Inbounds, perfect pass to Maxey. Maxey drives, no foul called, and there's contact. Mr. Official, there's got to be something. As Maxey is still on the ground, Weathers is doing no better as she goes over to her sideline, and that was quite the collision for there to be no foul called. So the trainer quickly in the paint looking at Maddie Maxey. Coach Pierce over there as well. Sophie Weathers comes over, and she is definitely shaken up. Could be the right elbow, right shoulder, I'm not sure. So we will go ahead and take a quick break. 2:35 to go here in the second. 13-8, Community leads it. You're listening to Viqueen Basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So welcome back in, 2:35 to go. The trainer had to help Maddie Maxey off the floor, and they have gone back to the locker room. Meanwhile, Sophie Weathers, trying to get my eyes on her, she is going to stay in the basketball game, even though she looks like she's favoring something on her right side, possibly the shoulder or the elbow. We shall see. She's got the basketball, but moving a little gingerly. Hands off to Augustine. Augustine down with it in the left corner. Now she'll come out. She'll swing it across over to Lily Augustine, and now Crosby has it. Crosby looking for Augustine down low and simply throws that one away out of bounds. Turnover as it will belong to Community. 2:10 to go here in the first half. 13-8 our score as Hill has it, and we'll bring it across the timeline to Haskins. Haskins kicks over to Pearson. Pearson is the one that checked in for Maddie Maxey. She's got it on the left wing. So we've got Pearson, Hill, White, Haskins, and Flanagan as it is handed off to Haskins, who picks up her dribble, gives it Pearson at the top of the key. Now Flanagan with it on the left wing. Flanagan back to Pearson at the top, 1:45 to go. Hill now hands off to Haskins. Haskins drives in the paint and still trying to get around Augustine. Now puts up the shot, won't go. White with the rebound. White muscles it up, and again, nothing called as there's contact. It looks like it went off of Loretto and will stay with Community. Only one foul has been called against Loretto all night. 13-8 is our score. As inbounding will be Haskins. Gives off to Hill. Now Flanagan with it at the top of the key. As again, Loretto in that 2-3 zone. Pearson, Haskins, three-pointer. And that one off the mark. Rebound. Flanagan gives chase as she saves it. Gives it to Hill. 1:17 now. White with it in the paint. Spin move. Puts it up. Won't go. Some contact from Weathers, but again, no foul. So Augustine will bring it back. That'd be an alley. Drives the paint, puts it up. Yes! A little kiss off the glass And the score, 13-10. As Hill, trying to desperately get it inbounds, leads Haskins. Haskins catches up with it and now has it on the right wing, being double teamed. And finally, a foul is called. A foul has been called against Loretto as Haskins was trying to split the double team. And I believe that's going to be on Crosby, as Yos will come in for the aforementioned Haskins. They'll give her a breather. 49 seconds to go until halftime. 13-10. Community leads it. Yos will inbound under her own basket. Not a lot of movement, but throws long for Pearson. Pearson now over to Hill. Yos down in the left corner. She was looking for White, couldn't get it to her. Now back over to Pearson. Pearson with it at the top of the key, swings back to Yos. Yos looking out low for White, and that's poked away. Another example of a lot of contact. Crosby comes down, puts it up, and it rims out. And finally, Weathers plows into Pearson, and a foul has been called. I think reluctantly by the official, but she didn't have a choice. It was blatant, so the foul called. And now the scores table with a little bit of confusion. And they're going to have to call, well, they finally look over at the official, and, well, they're still talking to one. Trying to see who the foul was on, but I believe it was on Stutz. Long pass down to Hill, puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass. Excellent look by Brooklyn Yos. The awareness, the throw down long, threw it the length of the court. Hill was down there like a receiver, made the catch, put it up, and got the two. 15-10 is our score. 10 seconds. Augustine letting it wear down. Gets it down to Weathers. Weathers in the paint, puts it up, and that one won't go. In and out off the rim, and that brings us to a close. We have played one half of basketball here at Cascade High School. Community leads at 15-10. We'll take the halftime break. Thank the sponsors for making this possible. You've been listening to Viqueens Basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
So welcome back into Cascade High School, where we have the District 9 AA semifinal game between the Community Viqueens and the Loretto Lady Mustangs. The score at the half, 15-10. Bill's going to tell us a little bit about the foul situation and do the scoring recap. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, for Community, they have been whistled 8 times, as Loretto has just been whistled 3 times, and so there's a big disparity in the foul situation. Looking at the scoring for Loretto, they've scored 10 points. Allie Augustine has 4 points, Withers has 4 points, and Crosby has 2. For Community, Haskins has 6, White has 4, Flanagan has 3, and Hill has 2 for a total of 15. Your score at the half, Community 15, Loretto 10.
So to let everyone know what's at stake, the winner of tonight's contest will play Saturday at 6 o'clock in the district championship game. That game will be played against Summertown, who upset Cascade in the first game tonight as they lost that contest, and will play at 3 p.m. So if you lose tonight, you catch Cascade at 3 o'clock Saturday in their own gymnasium. Just a little reminder between these two teams, Loretto has won the previous 2 matchups. On January 16th at home, they handedly beat us 66-43. And then when we took the trip out to Lawrence County, it was a close one. We were trailing by 3 with only 17 seconds to go, but we could not overcome, losing that one 47-43. So this one looks like it is going to be a low-scoring affair, as the score at the half, 15-10, Community leads it, and Community has possession as we start things out, as Yos will be on the far sideline away from us. Haskins with it. Haskins, Pearson beyond the arc, looking for White down low. They kick it back out. Yos moves it across over to Flanagan. Flanagan now back to Yos at the top of the key, and she's going to motion for Haskins to come through. Haskins will take it. Now Haskins with it at the top. She'll swing it to Flanagan on the right side. Now Brooklyn Yos down in the right corner will give over to Pearson, who's on the far side. Now gives down to White, down low, puts it up. Yes! And that one crawls over the front of the rim, Alyssa White, and the score, 17-10. Stutz with it, drives, and Pearson going to be called for the foul, as Pearson was trying to get position down low on the block, as Stutz wanted to drive, and just too much body. So Weathers, Stutz, Chance, Crosby, and Augustine coming out of the locker room for Loretto, as it is Yos, Flanagan, Haskins, Pearson, and that bucket goes by Augustine in the middle of the action there. So again, for Community, Flanagan, Yos, Haskins, Pearson, and White. Pearson with it, across the arc, and now she will pick up her dribble, get hemmed up a little bit, but gives over to Brooklyn Yos. Now Yos gives over to Haskins. Haskins swings over to Pearson down here in the left-hand corner. Now Pearson will come out to the top of the key and hand off to Yos. Yos now will go off to the right-hand side, hands off to Flanagan, and Flanagan momentarily had it knocked away by Augustine, but able to regain it. And now a foul's got to be called on Chance, as a little hip check on Pearson as she was trying to move forward. So the senior, Jesse Chance, called for the infraction at the 6:41 mark. Yos with it, gives off to Flanagan, and that one is stripped and now out of bounds. Who's it going to belong to? It's going to stay with the Lady Mustangs. 6:37 to go here in the third. A 5-point advantage for Community. They lead it 17-12. We do appreciate the few that have hung with us that are listening in. We know several are watching the game on YouTube with someone else, but we do appreciate those who are loyal to us. Augustine with it in the paint, spin move, puts it up. That one's short. Rebound goes to Yos. Yos will give off to Pearson. Now Pearson has that one deflected in midcourt, but into the hands of Haskins, as Haskins has it on the right side. Had White open underneath, but just did not see her as she gives off to Yos. Now Yos back to Haskins. Haskins kicks over to Flanagan. Flanagan now driving in the paint, puts it up, and that one rims out. Rebound, loose down low, and White going to be called for a cheap one, as I do not think that there was very much contact on that one, as Augustine got the rebound and earned a A+ in theater, as she acted that one out pretty well and draws the foul. So Crosby will bring it up for Loretto. No pressure coming from the Viqueens as Augustine kicks over to Chance. Jumper, and that one rims out. She gets her own rebound. Gets it over to Stutz. Stutz beyond the arc, being guarded closely by Pearson, and now she'll back it out. 5:40 to go here in the third. Chance with it on the right side, and now she'll swing it over to Stutz. Stutz has it in the right-hand corner, being bottled up by Pearson. Now swings it all the way to Augustine at the top of the key, being guarded by Flanagan. Augustine drives, puts it up, and count it, and the foul. As that one hung on the rim for an eternity and finally fell through the netting. So the score, 17-14. As, again, number 21, the junior Sarah Flanagan, called for the infraction. As Augustine will toe the mark, and the free throw, yes. So Loretto has cut it to 2 as the score, 17-15, showing full court pressure. And thrown across half court, Pearson's got it. Pearson now will hold up for the rest of the troops. Swings it over to Flanagan. Flanagan finds White, and that one thrown too far in front of her, intercepted by Crosby. So Loretto back with it as Chance has it on the right. Now gives over to Augustine at the top of the key. Loretto with a chance to tie or take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Crosby was looking for Chance off the pick and roll. Now Weathers, I thought she may have traveled, but that one goes off the glass, spins around, and finds its way in the bottom of the net. We are tied as that one's stolen away on the inbound by Augustine. Stutz has it, yes. And let's see if Pierce wants a timeout. He does. We've got to stop the bleeding. It is 19-17. Loretto has flipped this thing on its side. 4:40 to go here in the third. You're listening to Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network. We are back, 4:40 to go here in the third quarter, and we've been rattled a little bit. And obviously we are without Maddie Maxey as well, who has not returned from the locker room, as they do get it to Haskins as Chance. That was a lot of contact at midcourt, but finally gives it over to Pearson. Maddie Maxey, meanwhile, is now on the bench. Not sure if she'll be able to return or not. Pearson with it. That would be a long three if she wanted to shoot from that volleyball line. And she finally gives off to Haskins. Haskins trying to go baseline off the screen. And a lot of contact. Again, no foul is called as it's turned over. Augustine with it. She'll drive the paint, puts it up. Yes! A nice one off the glass. They have got to stop the penetration. And finally a foul called as Haskins was trying to bring it up on the sideline. I believe Stutz was the one. Well, no, Crosby going to be called for the foul. They both sort of hemmed her up on a double team, as now Hill will check in for Community. Sarah Flanagan will be the one to have a seat. So we've got Haskins, Hill, White, Pearson, and Yos inbounding. 4 minutes to go here in the third. 21-17, Loretto with their largest lead of the night. Pearson with it on the right wing. Gets it down low to White. White kicks it over to Yos. Yos elects not to take the shot. Now Hill with it, gives back down to White. White draws the double team. Haskins three-pointer. And that one rims out. Ball loose. It should be our ball, yes. And went off the ankle of Sophie Weathers. And it will stay with the purple and gold. And fans to my right who did not have a good look at it from Loretto are arguing the call, but the right call was made, as that one now is going to go off whom? It's going to be turned over as Brooklyn Yos could not handle the pass. So Loretto will have it in inbound right here in front of us. 21-17 the score, 3:38 to go, as the third quarter has definitely belonged to the Lady Mustangs from Lawrence County. Chance with it, gives off to Weathers. Weathers finds Augustine down low and counted in the foul. No, she traveled. She traveled underneath. I thought she had, and nothing was being called. They were letting her play. And, of course, now the Lady Mustang fans off to our right, irate, as that pass intercepted by Weathers at half court. They give it back to Weathers, puts it up, yes. Nice dish from Augustine. A give and go, if you will, 23-17. And the Viqueens really struggling as that one goes out of bounds off Crosby. It will stay with Community, but we are struggling to even get the ball over half court. 3:08 to go in this one as Hill has it, brings it across the timeline. Now Hill drives in, gives it to White. White kicks it to Yost. Three-pointer. And that one won't go. Rebound loose underneath and taken away by Hill. Excellent job as Maddie Hill was able to take that one away. So Haskins with it on the left, being guarded closely by Stutz. Now Hill being guarded by Stutz as well. Picks up the dribble, gives over to Yost. Yost beyond the arc, gives it back to Hill on the block. Hill muscles her way, puts it up, won't go, too strong. Rebound, Allie Augustine. She gives off to Chance on the baseline. Now back to Augustine, three-pointer, bottom. And it has been all Loretto. They lead it 26-17. And nothing called there. A ton of contact on the baseline. And nothing called as it is turned over. And a timeout is going to be called at the 2:17 mark here in the third. 26-17 is our score. The largest lead of the night for Loretto. We'll take the break. You're listening to Viqueen Basketball on the Ball Network.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
2:17 to go here in the third. Again, we appreciate you joining us as Loretto has the basketball inbounding under their own basket. Crosby with it, now over to Augustine. Augustine down with it in the corner, picks up her dribble, swings it cross court to Sophie Weathers. Now Augustine flashes down low. Weathers gives it to her, fakes left, puts it up right. Yes, off the glass. Nice shot there by Allie Augustine as we're trying to break the press. Pearson with it, and that pass deflected. Ball loose. Hill's got it. And now Stutz tries to pull it away, but a foul going to be called instead of the jump ball as they were tangled up on the far side. And Mr. Official calls a foul on Stutz. As now number 13, Lily Augustine, will check in for the aforementioned Kinley Stutz, the sophomore. As Community has possession. Inbound goes to Yost, now back to Hill. Hill, lazy pass to Pearson, but luckily got it there as Crosby was lurking. Now Hill's got it in the paint. Hill gives over to Haskins. They wanted a travel call, and now Haskins double dribbles as she was trying to make a move into the paint, and the wheels are falling off the wagon. 28-17 as Haskins will come out. Flanagan will check in. So Community has Flanagan, White, Hill, Pearson, and Yost with 1:34 to go here in the third quarter. We're trailing by 11. Allie Augustine will flip it over to Lily Augustine, and now they give off to Weathers. Now beyond the arc, Crosby with it. She'll swing it real quick to Chance on the right side. Now back to Augustine. This being Allie. Now gives to Lily. Three-pointer, and that one way off the mark. But the rebound is going to go to Crosby. Now they'll slow things down. Augustine with it. Weathers on the right side. Now Crosby with it down in the right corner. Brings it out to the top of the key. Now they'll swing it over as Allie Augustine has it on the left side. Drives the paint. Kicks across to Crosby. Three-pointer from the corner. Bottom. 31-17. This third quarter has been an onslaught by the Lady Mustangs as Flanagan finally gets it across the timeline. They're going to swing it over to Pearson. Pearson, three-pointer. And that one off the front of the rim. Nobody made an effort to go get the rebound. It was all white jerseys around it, no purple to be found. And Augustine will slowly crawl it across the timeline. 25 seconds to go here in the third. 31-17, Loretto in full control of this one. Stolen away by Pearson, and now a jump to be called. So a tie-up at half court. And now the officials discussing. I believe, would that not? Well, let me see before I speak. The official over at the scores table. The other two talking to each other. Now all three will convene. And I'm not sure what all the talk is about, as Loretto has possession. So I'm assuming it was a tie-up with possession arrow in favor of the Lady Mustangs. Inbound goes to Weathers, 15 seconds. Handoff goes to Augustine. Now Allie Augustine will back it out all the way to the Cascade logo at center court, 8 seconds. Being guarded by Pearson. Weathers came up for the screen. Now she kicks it across, three-pointer by Chance, and that one hits the rim, and that one is going to go along the baseline. The second shot not up in time. So the third quarter belonged to the Gals from Lawrence County. They've got the big lead, 31-17. As we go to the fourth, you're listening to Viqueens basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. We're about to get the fourth quarter underway. Bill's going to give us a little recap of that third quarter.
Well, the third quarter was not very kind to Community. We scored the first 2 points, and then Loretto went on a 21-0 run. So we're trailing entering the fourth quarter, 31-17.
So there's the difference in the ball game. The third quarter, as White gets it. Yes! The kiss off the glass. Nice look from Yos right off the inbound play. We work it low. We get the points. And let's hope that, unlike the third quarter, let's hope that's not the only 2 points of the quarter, as the score, 31-19. Community's going to have to be aggressive and go on some runs. We got to get some stops. Weathers with it down low. Blocked! And it goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the purple and gold, unless, well, the female official is going to come over and say otherwise. So it will belong to Loretto. We need all the breaks we can get. 7:33 to go in the contest. 31-19 the score. Crosby with it on the baseline and gets it out to Augustine. She thought long and hard about that three, but now she's going to back it out and look over at head coach Ashley Rutledge to get the call. Now Chance with it in the right corner. She'll dribble out towards the top of the key, gives off to Weathers. Weathers, like a duck in the desert beyond the arc. Looks like uncharted territory for her, as now she has the ball back and finally gives off to Augustine, who drives in the paint, and she's cut off by Pearson. Now they look backside. Nice look to Chance. Yes! That was a great cut to the basket and an even better pass. And Loretto gets on the board again as Hill, a lot of contact. It goes out of bounds off of Crosby. It'll stay with the Community, but again, they're allowing everything and just not calling much. Hill will inbound to Yos. 33-19 is the score. Pearson with it across the half-court line, pulls up at the elbow, and that one was tipped. It was blocked, and then off the hands of Hill, out of bounds. So a turnover. And now Coach Pierce, I believe, is going to call a timeout. So 6:46 to go in the contest. 33-19. Loretto leads it. You're listening to Viqueens basketball on the Ball Network.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can.
So welcome back in, 6:44 in the contest, 33-19. And we talked about it a little bit during the commercial. I don't know if we're going to have enough possessions because we're just not shooting any threes. This is going to be tough, and that one's stolen away by White. So a good start coming out of the break as Pearson has it. It's Pearson, Yos, Haskins, Hill, and White for Community. Hill's got to take that shot. She had a wide open three, drives, kicks to Haskins, puts it up, blocked by Chance, and it lands in the hands of Hill. Swings into Pearson, she'll take it, three-pointer, and that one rims out, rebound Hill. Hill shoved to the ground, and a travel going to be called, as obviously no foul will be. I thought there was a hand to the back. I think Coach Pierce thought it as well, and now someone has called a timeout. Did not see who it was, and now I see that it is Loretto. So we'll take the break. 33-19 is our score. You're listening to Viqueen Basketball on the Ball Network. So 6:06 to go here in the fourth, and what's at stake? If you win this contest, you play Saturday night at 6 against Summertown. If you lose the contest, you play Saturday at 3 p.m. against Cascade. So you heard that right. Cascade was upset in the opener tonight. As that pass is at half court, almost picked off. Crosby contains it, gives it over to Chance. Chance now to Stutz, 5:50 to go. Augustine with it at the top of the key. She drives, kicks back to Chance and throws it out of bounds. Turnover as the ball will go over to Community. That one was actually thrown directly to the official. As Yos will inbound, Pearson with it in the back court, drawing a double team, but they can't catch her as she'll come down and now picks up her dribble. Gives over to Yos at the top of the key, was looking low, and that pass intercepted by Augustine as it was intended for Hill on the baseline. And now Haskins reaches in, and she's going to get a foul. So Loretto will inbound at half court, as Crosby will have it in the back court, being guarded by Haskins. Crosby now swings it over to Chance. Good ball movement. Finds his way into the hands of Augustine on the right side. Now back to Crosby. Long three. And that one off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to White as Community with it. Haskins pushes. Pearson puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass. And the score, 33-21. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go in the contest. Stutz has it over in the left corner. Could have taken the shot. Elects to give over to Weathers. Weathers beyond the arc. Sets a little bit of a screen as Augustine has it. Augustine spin move. Spins it over. Corner, three. And that one too strong by Crosby. That ball is going to go out of bounds. Who's it belong to? It's going to stay with the Lady Mustangs. 33-21 is the score. 4:44 to go in the fourth. As Loretto will inbound under their own basket as Augustine has it. Augustine beyond the arc, being guarded closely by Pearson. Looking backside to Crosby, who swings it over. Weathers. And that one is intercepted by Hills. They try to get it down low to Chance. And now Yos with it. And finally gets across the timeline. Hill's got it. Hill drives in the paint, pulls up. Yes! A nice little jumper by Madison Hill. And the score dwindled down to 10. And it's stolen away at half court. Haskins with it. Puts it up. Won't go. Rebound Pearson. That's got to be a foul. And the official finally called it as Pearson drew contact. I thought she was in the act of shooting, but apparently not. So Haskins will inbound on the baseline as she gets it into Hill. Hill gives to Pearson at the top of the key. Now she'll go off to her right side. Hands off to Haskins. Haskins thought about driving baseline. Now gives to White. White beyond the arc. Now gives to Pearson. Hill's got it top of the key. Under 4 minutes to go now. 10-point basketball game. Loretto leads it. Nice drive. Haskins kicks. Yos. Three. And that one off the back of the iron. And it is saved underneath by Crosby, who gives to Augustine, who dribbles through 3 purple jerseys. They've got the numbers, but that one knocked away. And what's the call, Mr. Official? The one on the far side calls a foul. Stutz can't believe it. And Stutz pleading her case. And the way that she reacted, very demonstrative, but the official letting her talk. And now a timeout, I believe, going to be called by head coach Ashley Rutledge. And yes, she is going to call it. So we'll take the break. 3:38 to go in the fourth. We're showing a little bit of life. You'll want to come back. We trail by 10. You're listening to Viqueen Basketball on the Ball Network.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
3:38 to go in the basketball game, 33-23 as the ball is inbounded to Sarah Flanagan. Flanagan over to Hill. Hill gives to Pearson across the timeline. Now Pearson will dribble. Flanagan beyond the arc gives down to Haskins. Haskins going baseline, hip check, puts it up, but that foul is going to be on the floor as Sophie Weathers came over and gave her a little bit of the side of her body as Haskins was making her way to the basket. So that is 3 team fouls now, I believe, as now Pearson has it. Hill with it beyond the arc. Now Pearson. Pearson will back it out, now gives over to Flanagan. We do not have a lot of time to work with as we are approaching the 3-minute mark, trailing by 10. Pearson with it down in the right corner. Now gives off to Flanagan at the top. They were trying to get it to Haskins down low. They do. Haskins puts it up, and there was a ton of contact. You've got to call the foul. Unbelievable. I mean, that is a ton of contact underneath, and I know if you're listening, you can't see it, but my word. So Loretto has the basketball, is leading by 10. As they will give it over to Crosby on the right side as Haskins tried to knock it away. I bet they'll call a foul there, and they do. They call it on Pearson reaching in. So apparently tonight, and that's the 4th one on Pearson, correct? So if you wear purple tonight, they'll call the foul. If you're wearing white, they're not going to blow that whistle. And I hate to be that way, but it has been severely lopsided. As Allie Augustine with it, way out beyond the arc, now drives in. Blocked by Alyssa White, who sends that one back along the baseline. 2:38 to go in the contest. Community trailing by 10. Augustine tries to inbound to Crosby. She can't handle it, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover. So Community has the basketball, but we have got to start taking some long shots here. I just don't think you have enough time to nickel and dime them the rest of the way as Flanagan drives, blocked by Chance. My word. Big time block by her, and now Flanagan was up in the air, lands on Augustine, and the foul call. So that is 4 on Sarah Flanagan. So we've got 4 on Flanagan, we've got 4 on Pearson, and there's more fouls called on those 2 young ladies than the entire team of Loretto. Bill can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got to be close.
It's close.
So that one kicked out. Crosby beyond the arc now gives to Chance. Chance will swing it over to Stutz. Stutz going to draw a little bit of a double team at the top of the key. Now hands off to Augustine. We're approaching the 2-minute mark as Community trails by 10. Lazy pass, but it finds its way into the hands of Stutz. Now Augustine back with it, and she drives in the paint and thought the pivot foot may have moved, but I believe she hung on. And now Augustine with it down to the corner, swings it down low to Chance underneath the basket, wide open. Nobody was near her as Jesse Chance puts it up and in off the square. The score, 35-23. 1:39 to go in this one as Pearson has it, three-pointer, ball! So that one goes down for Pearson, and the score, 35-26. Timeout. We'll take the break. You're listening to Viqueen Basketball on the Ball Network. Gotcha.
Is
So 35-26 is the score, as Loretto will have possession, 1:32 to go in the contest. So it looks like we are indeed going to fall short in this one, which means we would play on Saturday at 3 o'clock against Cascade. So it'll be another Battle of Bedford as Cascade dropped the opener tonight against Summertown. So Bedford County will play for the 3rd and 4th seed, and Lawrence County will play for the 1st and 2nd seed. As Augustine's got it, she'll swing it over to Stutz, and they're in no hurry to shoot anything as finally a foul called. And let's see the guilty party. It'll be Haskins or Flanagan, and Haskins going to be called for that one. So 9 fouls have been called on Loretto. Meanwhile, we have got 2 girls alone that have 8 fouls between the two. So it has been lopsided as we approach the 106 mark as another foul called against us. And, of course, now we're trying to foul on purpose to get them to the line as our only chance. But, again, the score, 35-26. So Loretto can put it away from the free throw line and extend the lead as Allie Augustine will toe the mark, and the free throw is up and good. So Loretto is going to get the better of Community for the 3rd time this season as Yost will check in for White. Again, the first time they met in Unionville, a 66-43 win. And then when we went over to Loretto, we fell short in that contest, 47-43. So Loretto is going to move on to the championship game of the district. They will take on the 4 seed coming into the tournament, Summertown. So that will be interesting, as it will be 4 against 2 in the championship game, as that one is blocked as Pearson tried to take a three-pointer, and Chance was able to knock that one away. Augustine gained the rebound, and then a foul immediately by Community. And if that's Flanagan, she's gone. And indeed it is. So the 5th foul on the junior with 47 seconds to go in the contest. 37-26 is our score, as Augustine will toe the mark again. And, of course, at the end of the ball game, Bill will recap the scoring, but just from watching it, it seems like Augustine and Weathers, again, were the ones to get the better of us. So Augustine puts that free throw down, and the score is 40-26. Or, excuse me, it's maybe 39-26. My apologies. Three-pointer, and that one off the mark by Haskins as it hits the back of the iron. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Community. So Haskins will inbound, and White had it knocked away out of her hands as Augustine had the ball go off of her. It will stay with Community. Inbound to Yost. Yost will swing it over to Pearson as the gymnasium is starting to empty. 30 seconds to go in this one as Pearson takes the long three, and that one off the mark. Rebound goes to Augustine underneath, and she will give it over to Weathers, and Weathers is fouled by Pearson. So that'll be Pearson's 5th, so she's gone. Not that this game would see overtime anyways. Our score, 39-26. And ironically, before the game started, as Pridmore checks in, so we've got Pridmore, Hill, White, Yost, and Haskins. But ironically, I said if we could get 43, we'd win this game. Well, Loretto's sitting at 39 as they toe the mark, and that one goes in. The score, 40-26. So I figured that's what we'd have to win, and it looks like that may have been the case as the free throw goes for Weathers. And the score, 41-26. Haskins with it. Gives down low to Pridmore. Now out to Yost. Yost three-pointer. And that one off the back of the iron. Rebound is loose, and Weathers going to contain it for the Lady Mustangs as she will dribble it out. 6 seconds as she hands over to Augustine. So that's going to end it. Your final score, Community drops this one, 41-26 in the semifinals of the District 9 2A game here at Cascade High School. So I'll turn it over to Bill here to give us a recap on the scoring. I'll give him a minute to do his calculations. But again, the third quarter really hurt us and things got away from us. And then, of course, Maddie Maxey not being able to return to the ball game could have played a factor as well. But Weathers and Augustine did their thing as they have done in the previous matchups. So again, our score 41-26, and Bill, go ahead and fill us in on the final numbers.
Okay, final recap on the scoring for Community. Pearson had 5, Haskins had 6, White had 8, and she was the lead scorer with 8. Hill had 4, and Flanagan had 3, for a total of 26. For Loretto, the star of the game was Allie Augustine. She had 20. Weathers had 10. Crosby had 5. Chance had 4. And Stutz had 2 for a total of 41. Loretto wins the contest 41-26. As we've mentioned, the foul disparity was pretty great as Community was whistled 18 times as opposed to 9 times for Loretto. So that's a 2-to-1.
Yeah, double the fouls called in this lopsided affair. So again, our final score, Loretto wins at 41-26. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome. Be sure to join us on Saturday as we will play in the 3 o'clock game, and we will play for third place against Cascade High School at Cascade High School, so it'll be another battle of Bedford. So again, our final score, Loretto wins at 41-26. We thank you for your time this time. Until next time, for Bill Knowles, I'm David Knowles, and you've been listening to Community Basketball.